Let's get out to Kate Rooney in San Francisco, who has a key player in this whole AI race and space. Kate?
Kelly, thank you so much. Key player indeed. This is Bret Taylor. Bret, it's great to see you. So you have a long resume. We should say you are the co-founder, CEO of Sierra, now a $15 billion company, also the chairman of OpenAI, among other things. You were the co-CEO of Salesforce. The list goes on. But welcome. It's great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
So one of the pieces of news I do want to get to, we'll make a quick mention of this. You guys got this government clearance that typically takes years. Does it say anything about the pace at which the government is moving to try to keep up with AI, and what's the significance of the news today?
Yeah, so really simply put, Sierra is now FedRAMP High certified, which is a simple way of saying the federal government can now use a platform like Sierra. And Sierra helps companies build AI agents that can pick up the phone so you don't need to wait on hold. And if you think of all the services you get from the federal government, whether it's your passport or Medicare, what a cool opportunity for citizens. You don't have to wait on hold, 24/7 service. And it is remarkable. We did this less than 2 years since our launch. Part of it was our motivation, but part of it, as you said, is I think there's an imperative in the federal government to actually provide better services for lower costs for citizens, and I'm hopeful we can play a big part in it.
What is the evidence you're seeing of that? And I wonder, too, while we talk about government, the executive order, if that's also a signal to you that they're taking this seriously. What did you make of the EO that came out recently?
You know, I think in general, AI is the topic on Wall Street, in D.C., and, you know, I'm really heartened that I think everyone's taking it seriously. I think 3 years ago, there was those of us in San Francisco who saw where the puck was going, as Wayne Gretzky's dad says, and now everyone's seen it. And there's so much opportunity to help with some of the really big problems, whether it's economic mobility, democratizing access to expertise, or lowering the cost of and lowering government spending, which is a huge initiative as well. So I'm really heartened by the focus, both in business and in the government, on AI right now.
When we talk about Wall Street and AI, one theme that's emerging is cost. There's been talk about token maxing and trying to rein that in. What are you hearing from CEOs and CFOs when they talk about trying to actually build an AI budget, not overspend? And what has the conversation been like?
Well, it is funny. We went from will there be enough demand for AI to we're spending too much on AI. My big picture view is this. I think the models have gotten so incredible. They're providing a ton of value. If you haven't tried Codex, try it out. It can write software for you. It can do research for you. And the utility has gone up so high that people are now using it for a ton of different things. And now the conversation is, how do we measure it? How do we attribute it? My view is we just need better leadership around what we want to do with AI in business. I think just giving AI to everybody is not really a great strategy. We should say, hey, can we provide better customer service? Can we lower our cost of, say, developing new software? Can we get better in our legal department? And I think if companies start focusing on outcomes rather than tokens, they'll start seeing the results. Tokens are just an input. It's like how many words are in a newspaper article is not its value, right? And so I think companies are just really coming to grips with how useful these models are. And now we need some top-down leadership on focusing on outcomes, which has always been the spirit of Sierra.
Although if I were paying per word for my subscription, Bret, to the Wall Street Journal as opposed to per physical. But anyway, it's Kelly here back in studio. I'm hearing that there's sort of two minds when it comes to the OpenAI IPO. Now, we are told by some that there's a race between OpenAI and Anthropic to be first because you're going to get the most capital and you're going to set the narrative, blah, blah. But I'm hearing that there are others, really smart people inside the company, I would consider you one of them, but I don't know if you would agree with this, who think that maybe the IPO should be slowed down. And the reason is every month it seems like there's we go from Claude has the whole market to, hey, maybe Codex isn't so bad. And how many more iterations might we go through before an IPO that could leave OpenAI in a place to have a better narrative for a more successful launch with the public? What is your point of view on what that timeline should look like?
Well, look, I can't officially comment, as you probably know, on the IPO timing, but I'll tell you really the spirit of how we make those decisions. Fundamentally, OpenAI is a mission-driven company, and our mission is to ensure that artificial general intelligence benefits humanity. A big part of that is distributing the benefits, making sure that we have the capital to have the biggest computer for training and inference, to ensure that we can provide OpenAI for free to consumers around the globe. What we did when we disclosed our confidential filing was just give us option value. So we don't really have a specific timing in mind. But as you alluded to, there's no autopilot here. We're going to make the decision that's right for our mission, and unfortunately, I have nothing more specific I can share beyond that.